friend, newspapers are still with the pink colors, you know.
Sorry, Vivek, आवाज नहीं आई clearly.
Newspapers, when I just, in the morning when I was reading the newspaper, Women's Day, it was in, the front page was in pink color only.
Yeah, it's such a paradoxical state of affairs.
I know, exactly.
You know, we are here to break these stereotypes.
We can't break the stereotypes. Try and try and try as much as we want.
One day we shall.
Yeah. That's why I'm wearing maroon.
You're wearing blue. Let's see the blue. We can't see the blue.
Maroon, maroon, maroon.
Maroon. Okay, I'm wearing multiple colors.
Madhuri ma'am, we are twinning.
Sorry?
We are twinning, you and I.
Yes, but Jyoti, I can't see your attire.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
But we had a very successful session at the NESS. No?
Very. She spoke so well, except that I was really exhausted. Initially, when you asked me to announce the results, I was having my lunch.
I couldn't even have my lunch because Kim, Aaron said, "Ma'am, principal sir has joined. You join, please." Oh my God, marwa diya.
That late, but you generally have your lunch early, Pratik.
I reached home now. I moved out from college at nearly 1, and then I did some little bit of groceries and then came home. So by the time I could, it was already almost 3. I've taken some fruits.
Vivek, we'll need to just remind sir. I have just spoken to the speaker. She said she'll be joining in a few moments. So, Vivek, will you speak, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. I could not hear, ma'am. Hello?
Vivek ma'am is saying if you could just give a soft reminder to principal sir once to join.
Okay. Sure. Good afternoon, sir. So NSS program is about to begin, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. ठीक है सर. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I think our speakers also joined us.
Ma'am, sir will be joining within 5 minutes. So his system is not working. He has asked for the new
Rituji,
laptop.
welcome to the. Sorry, Vivek, I couldn't hear you.
Ma'am, I just called the principal, sir. He's saying that he will join within 5 minutes. His system is getting updated. So he's asked for the other system, other
All right.
laptop. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, all right. I think Rituji is also here.
Yeah, good evening. I'm just
Good evening and welcome to the Dal Singh College NSS unit and a very happy International Women's Day.
thank you so much, and I wish you the same. And all the participants.
You must have had a busy day today.
Yeah, lots of activities pre-scheduled.
Right, right. Can we wait for a couple of minutes? Sir's system is getting updated. He's called for another laptop.
Yeah. Sure.
I can introduce to you to the faculty members here. We have Dr. Brati Biswas. Brati, can you switch on your camera?
Yeah, I'm switching on. Hello, welcome to Dal Singh Evening College, virtually though.
We have Dr. Vivek Gaur.
I think Madhuri, तेरा bandwidth का कुछ गड़बड़ हो रहा है? The voice is echoing.
Is there?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome to Dal Singh College. Evening.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'll also check my system.
I think Madhuri, your system is whose system? Can't hear you very clearly. We have Jyoti Arora, who is an assistant professor in our department, and she's also associated with the NSS unit. Vivek, can you just put on your camera?
Good evening, ma'am.
Dr. Vivek Gaur. He also teaches in our Department of English, and he's also associated with the NSS wing of Dal Singh Evening College. Madhuri, of course, you know, she is our convener. No, we call.
It seems you have a very robust presence of NSS in college.
Yes, under Madhuri's stewardship, NSS has really done a lot.
I think more faculty members would be joining, but Vivek, I think we need to keep a slot for Sir now. Am I audible now, Brati, or is my voice still breaking?
Ma'am, you're audible.
Audible.
But I think who has created the link? Tell the students to join through the YouTube link now.
Vivek has, and yeah.
Keep a slot.
Yes, ma'am.
We can ask the rest of the students to join the YouTube link.
Chat box में डाल दो ना कि let them join or the rest join on YouTube.
Yes, ma'am. I'll tell them to join with the YouTube link.
YouTube join करने को बोल, that will be good.
Hello back.
Hello back. We've been having back-to-back programs.
Yeah, I'll keep my camera off. Okay.
No issues.
Yeah.
So after a while, we'll all off our cameras because just take snapshot ले लो. If Ritu ma'am can put your camera.
I think let sir join and then we can take a picture. Meanwhile, can we play the video first then? Jyoti, can we do that?
Sure, ma'am. Khushi?
Okay, ma'am. Sujal?
But I think we would like sir also to see that. I think the
Okay, ma'am,
students
then-
would want sir also to see the video, right? I'll just call him up again.
I'll join from the phone as well as from the laptop, okay? I'm doing some work parallel.
Right, ma'am.
So please let me in.
Sir is about to join. Rituji, you must have had programs in the day also.
No, we had yesterday one mega program with our ministers, and
Okay.
and today we had lots of meetings, department meetings.
Right.
Because this is our peak season for approvals.
Right. I'm sorry for that, but how do we pronounce your surname?
Sen.
Sen. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Vivek, has sir joined?
No, ma'am.
Then we already have 100 participants. Can we take more?
I don't know. I did not approve. There were 97.
Khushi, can we? Oh, okay, sir has joined. Sir
Yes,
has
sir,
joined.
joined.
He
Sir has joined.
Okay. Right. Shall we take a photograph right away and then proceed?
1 minute.
Right, sir. Khushi?
Yes, ma'am.
Please request the students to switch on their cameras. Just for the
Everyone,
picture and then
please.
they can switch it off.
Yeah, everyone, please turn on your camera.
I think some office bearers can do. Otherwise, will all the pictures come?
Rituji, may I request you to switch on your camera for a while? We'll take a picture and then proceed with the program.
Should I remove my background or it's okay?
It's fine, whatever way you're comfortable.
I can change it.
Whichever way. This looks nice, blue. We break the stereotype there also.
Yeah. So.
Reminds me of feminism.
Right. Yes.
Yes, we can start, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
Right.
Yes, sir. Himanshi, please start.
Okay. We need to reshape our own perception of how we view ourselves. We have to step up as women and take the lead. A very good evening to everyone present here. I hope you all are keeping safe. I, Himanshi, on behalf of NSSxDSEC Evening College, welcome you all to this webinar, Women Empowerment, Bridging the Gap Between Reality and Ideal, on the occasion of International Women's Day. First of all, I would like to thank you all for joining us today and our teachers and team for making this event possible. We have organized this webinar to get enlightened concerning various aspects of women and their empowerment. And our guest speaker shall be enlightening us with her knowledge about the same. Now, I would like to welcome our honorable guest of today's event, Ms. Ritu Sain, our respected Principal Sir, Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma, our Program Officer, Dr. Madhuri Chawla, our teacher coordinators, Dr. Brati Biswas, Dr. Vivek Kaur, Ms. Jyoti Arora, Ms. Samudra Roy, and the audience. Now, I invite Khushi Pachauri, President of NSS, to shed some light on the work of NSS.
The highest of distinctions is service to others. Good evening to one and all present here. I, Khushi, on behalf of NSS Dayal Singh Evening College, welcome you all for celebrating International Women's Day. National Service Scheme was launched on 24th September 1969 by Dr. V.K. Avi Rao. It is an Indian government-sponsored flagship program for public service conducted by Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports of the Government of India. Each university has its university-level NSS cells. We are glad to have this society in our college too. NSS Society organizes different programs for social welfare and awareness. NSS is more like a platform that benefits an individual to enhance their overall personality through community skills. By focusing on ground reality problems and to develop a sense of social and civic responsibility is what we thrive for as a community. It further enables us to identify the needs of the community and devise creative ways to deal with issues and bring about solutions. Moving ahead to the events, our NSS unit has been successfully organizing several online and offline events in the past. During the COVID era, we have been organizing several activities like a Vivid COVID webinar, vaccination campaign, and a COVID awareness week. Noteworthy online events included Women's Day webinar, World Mental Health Day webinar, poetry recitation on Shaheed Divas and Independence Day, quiz competition on Consumer Rights Day and Independence Day, drawing competition, doodle making competition, and open mic competition. We as a team had also organized some offline events by adhering to full safety measures. Diwali cloth collection and distribution drive, Freedom Run, blood donation camp were other events organized by our community. Recently, we went to INA slums to conduct a survey where we counseled them about health and hygiene. We also have a sanitary napkin distribution drive planned for tomorrow. That being said, I would like to conclude here. We can't help everyone, but we sure can serve everyone. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, is the mantra for us and should be for each one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Khushi. Although we are here to celebrate Women's Day, however, we firmly believe in the concept of he for she, and that without the mutual endeavors of men and women, we possibly cannot conceive of an egalitarian society. Therefore, I would like to invite our Principal Sir, Professor Pawan Kumar Sharma, to share his views on this day.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Am I not audible?
So you're audible.
Okay. So first of all, let me welcome today's guest, Ms. Ritu Sain, who is director in the MHRD looking after the school education, the basic education part. She has been alumnus of JNU, and especially her MPhil area has also been the Southeast Asian Studies. That I have been told that even her life story in itself is going to be an inspiration for all our participants today, especially on the International Women's Day. All of us, and the topic also which is going to be covered, what is the perception of a woman in reality and what is the idealism. Of course, we have to bridge the gap. That is going to be the topic today, which will be covered by our learned speaker today. And I am really hopeful that with her experiences and what motivated her, what inspired her to go for this job, from where the plans are prepared, the programs are designed to empower the women in particular, of course, in general, or the empowerment for all the sections of the society are being prepared from MHRD, but of course, with the very highly trained person like Ms Ritu Sain, I think the plans will be in place, are of course being implemented, and in future also we'll see that the plans will be in place, so that the transformation which is required in the required direction, in the destination to the destination is achieved. Earlier it is done, better it is, and that today's talk is going to be a kind of step in that direction. I welcome her on my own behalf as well as on behalf of the Dalsing Evening College. I also congratulate our NSS coordinator, our NSS volunteers, all our faculty members who have taken out time, because I think an hour or so before we were engaged with another program that was concentrated, that was from our Northeastern Student Society. And one of our earlier colleague from the college, she herself is a college professor there in Chandapur district, that is also our east. And she she mentioned the stories from the very heart of our Northeast. And that was really motivating. And of course, we can certainly feel that, yes, even the Northeast, the stories from the Northeast and our Northeast has also become the central part of India, the main India. And we also look forward to the same kind of, or better than that narrative today from Ms. Sain. I am very thankful that she has taken out time, because आज का दिन जैसा मैं सोचता हूँ, it's a very busy day. बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम हैं, इवन हमारी जैसी कॉलेज में ही 2-3 प्रोग्राम हैं, तो I think she must be busy with so many other programs. But despite that, she has taken out time. I am really very thankful, and please do provide us time whenever we require some other times to educate our students, to empower our students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Madhuri Chawla to introduce our speaker, Mrs. Ritu Sain. I request everyone who is present here to keep their audios or mics on mute.
Thank you, Himanshi. A strong woman knows she has strength enough for the journey, but a woman of strength knows it is in the journey where she will become strong. It is indeed our respective journeys as women and as individuals that have shaped our sensibilities. At the very outset, I wish you all a very happy International Women's Day. Our speaker of the day is an eminent scholar, worker, Ms Ritu Sain. Our principal, Professor Pavan Kumar Sharma, all the colleagues who have joined us, and dear students. On behalf of NSSxDSEC Evening College, I extend a very warm welcome to you all to the webinar on International Women's Day. I extend my heartiest welcome and gratitude to our guest speaker for the day, Ms Ritu Sain, a 2003 batch IAS officer of Chhattisgarh cadre. She's an alumnus of Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, where she pursued her MPhil in Southeast Asian Studies. She has held leadership positions throughout her professional career spanning 15 years at various levels of administration, including being district magistrate in 2 districts. She happens to be the first woman district magistrate in Surguja district, championing the cause of women empowerment by organizing thousands of women into SHGs with livelihood linkages across the state of Chhattisgarh, and infused a spirit of self-dependence and pride among women. That's commendable. She ideated and implemented innovative source segregation-based municipal solid waste management project, which led Ambikapur city to become the second cleanest city in India. She continues to bring about change with her intervention to mainstream widow, deserted and single women by converting government programs, visibly transform their life from despair to hope with improved access to entitlements like food security, social security, housing, health, etc., with capacity building and livelihood support in villages of Chhattisgarh. Her leadership in State Rural Livelihood Mission in Chhattisgarh instilled strategic vision and direction in organization to empower women by mobilizing them in robust community institutions to catalyze social change. She is the recipient of many prestigious awards, including Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Public Administration for her work on sanitation, President's Silver Medal in recognition of the outstanding zeal and high quality of services during Census of India, Best Electoral Practices Awards by Election Commission of India. She was finalist for CAPM International Innovation Awards 2018 by Commonwealth Association of Public Administration and Management. She's presently appointed as Director in the Department of School Education and Literacy under Ministry of Education. We extend our heartiest gratitude for accepting our invitation to speak at this webinar, ma'am. Through this talk session, NSS unit of the DSEC Evening College aims to spread the awareness involving the fundamental issues pertaining to the empowerment of women and to inspire people, particularly the youth, about the ever-emerging and ever-evolving role of women across the globe. I hope that this webinar will enable us to not only gain insights into women's experience and understand their struggles, but also enable us to work towards creating a better and equal world. And given your hands-on experience, I think our students are really going to benefit a lot. Over to you now, Rituji, to take us through this journey of empowerment of women that you have worked at and the vision that you have for future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Principal Sir, and the faculty at college, Ms. Madhuri Chawla, and the whole NSS team and dear students. I'm never able to say no for any program where students and girls are the audience. And I feel very privileged and humbled with this with this introduction and with this expectation and also with this invitation. So, every year we celebrate International Women's Day. And I'm sure programs like this, a webinar like this, would always make you think, like, why one day for women's empowerment celebration? Each day should be a Women's Day empowerment celebration. Then why we have to celebrate Women's Empowerment Day at all? So I have been searching these answers all through what exactly it is. And as Principal Sir has said, please don't mind, I still, when I see any principal or any teacher, I still feel like a student. So sir and ma'am is like, is very natural in a college setting. So I hope all the students are comfortable with English, or I can speak in Hindi. What should be the preferred language?
Whatever way is comfortable with you, I think it's okay.
I'm comfortable with both. मसाला जिसमें ज़्यादा और जज्बा जिसमें ज़्यादा घोला जा सके और students.
जज्बा तो मातृभाषा में ही है वैसे.
Right. So then I'll have a mixed conversation and I'll use both the languages to give, Hindi and English both. So the request has come for both the languages. Fine. So, few years, I would say exactly before 2 decades, I was also part of NSS team at my college. And what we learned there was the first lesson in social service. And that led to a crystallization into public service. So I really compliment the whole unit before going into the deep, hardcore women empowerment topic for organizing this event. And in fact, having this robust unit of NSS, which I had expressed earlier also when you were introducing the team. Why it is so important to have these kind of units? Because I think through these activities, we train our students to taste the leadership qualities, to understand the challenges around them, and to learn to be part of the solutions rather than part of the problem. So if you ask me what did I do in NSS or what did I learn from NSS, I would say these two things. That why it is important for us means for young people, for students to know the challenges around and how can they, make efforts to be part of the solutions. And there are many things which you have already stated, that the kind of empathy, compassion, and sense of giving back to the society which you are inculcating among students is incredible. So please keep it up. And now I come to the issue of women empowerment. This question is bothering me since I was a student. Every year on 8th March, there would be something or other. And as you know, the student who are active or who are vocal, they would always get an opportunity to, speak. And every year my thought about women empowerment was growing since the school days. So I used to think that empowerment is getting an opportunity to do whatever one likes. So if one girl wants to study, and if she gets the opportunity to study, then she is getting empowered. If a woman wants to do a job and she is getting an opportunity to do a job, or whether it is an employment or self-employment, she is getting empowered. But gradually, when I got more exposure, I realized that, empowerment is something different. It is not in education, it is not in employment, it is not in surroundings. It is not external. All these things help you to get towards that goal, but they are not the empowerment. Had it been so, many of the women who are educated, who are employed, would not go through domestic violence, would not pay dowry, would not be burnt alive, would not be subject to sexual violence, right? But all of this is happening. So empowerment is my understanding evolved that it is something which contains two forces. One is internal, second is external. So education, employment, and our surroundings, our thought processes, our social mindset, they all add. So for example, if a girl is born in a very remote setting, in a very conservative society, the chances of getting education, getting enrolled in school would be the biggest thing for her. But just imagine a girl born in an urban setting with a very forward-looking family. The empowerment would still mean something for her. So what is this which is common, which is invisible, but which is very, very essential to the empowerment process? And I think empowerment comes with that sense of confidence. And this confidence can come because of anything, because of education, because of upbringing, because of context, because of employment, because of economic independence or self-reliance. But when I see a girl named Anandi from Kutch, or I see Sumitra from Chhattisgarh, who did not get that much of education and who stay in rural society, but are so vocal, but are so confident, are so empowered, and are making so much change around them, then I think that it is more than that. And that more than that is that confidence, number one. The confidence to take decisions as per one's, passion, one's, life goals, missions. And when this confidence is clubbed with, that ability to make decisions, and then that ability of taking decisions is clubbed with making a change beyond oneself, going beyond one's own, comfort zone, then it is empowerment. And most of us, particularly girls in colleges, you would appreciate this, that you are going to be a graduate, you're going to be employed, but that itself doesn't make you empowered. That will facilitate empowerment process, but real empowerment will come when you will have that confidence and courage to stand up, to say what you believed in, and when you have that courage to say what is wrong and what is right, and stand up with them who need you. I think for me, this has been the journey of understanding empowerment. And I'm thankful that I got the opportunity through through education and through very, very supporting family and friends who facilitated this thought process and this learning. Now, most of you would think that being something in life as terms of career will also define empowerment. आपको लगता होगा कि आप IAS अफसर बन गए, आप सिविल सर्वेंट बन गए, आप कॉलेज में प्रोफेसर बन गए, आप डॉक्टर बन गए, आप इंजीनियर बन गए, तो आपकी एम्पावरमेंट की प्रोसेस ओवर। जी नहीं, आपकी एम्पावरमेंट की प्रोसेस सतत है। आपकी एम्पावरमेंट की प्रोसेस डे टू डे बेसिस पर है। आपकी एम्पावरमेंट की जर्नी ऑन है। सो मैं दूसरा जो डायमेंशन यहाँ पर ला रही हूँ कि कोई एक पर्टिकुलर करियर, एक पर्टिकुलर माइलस्टोन इन लाइफ डजंट एंड द एम्पावरमेंट प्रोसेस। सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप भारतीय प्रशासनिक सेवा में भी हैं और आप जिले में कलेक्टर हैं, या आप किसी भी बड़े पद पर हैं, या आप IPS ऑफिसर हैं, या आप डॉक्टर हैं, प्रोफेसर हैं, लेकिन अगर आप एम्पावर्ड हैं तो आप अपने उस काम को हर दिन हर मिनट बेहतरी से करेंगे। आप अपने उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में उन सारे स्टीरियोटाइप्स को हर मोमेंट चैलेंज करेंगी जो आपसे कहेंगे कि ये आपकी सीमा है, ये आपकी हद है और ये आपका दायरा है। सो मैं ये नहीं कहती कि सारे दायरों को लांघ जाना या स्वच्छंदता या स्वेच्छाचारिता एम्पावरमेंट है, नहीं। अपने आप को एक दायरे पर ना बांधना और हमेशा सजग रहना कि मुझे इससे आगे जाना है, और डे टू डे बेसिस पर रहना, क्योंकि चैलेंजेस आपके सामने कभी खत्म नहीं होंगे। और जब वो चैलेंजेस आपके सामने हैं, उनसे जूझने का मादा आपका कितना है, जुनून कितना है, और आप खुद से आगे दूसरों को देखने की कैसी दृष्टि रखते हैं, वो तय करता है कि आपकी एम्पावरमेंट की इंडेक्स कहाँ खत्म होनी है। उस इंडेक्स पर आपका स्कोर क्या है। आप सब लोग जानते हैं कि हम हमेशा किसी ना किसी तरह का एक आकलन करते हैं, चाहे वो किसी डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स का हो या चाहे वो हमारे मार्क्स का हो। हम उसमें क्या देखते हैं? हम सारे लोग एक ही क्वेश्चन, एक ही करिकुलम पढ़ते हैं, एक ही तरह की किताबें पढ़ते हैं, फिर उसके बाद अंक अलग अलग क्यों आते हैं? और वो क्यों अलग अलग आते हैं, उसके पीछे कितने सारे कारण होते हैं। आपकी तैयारी, आपका लेवल ऑफ ब्रिलियंस, आपकी हार्ड वर्क, आपकी सिंसियरिटी, ये सारी चीजें जिस तरह से उसमें एक फैक्टर होते हैं, उसी तरह से ये जो विषय है उसमें ये सारी चीजें फैक्टर हैं कि आप कब सोचती हैं, कब सोचती हैं। मुख्य तौर पर मैं ये बात दोनों से कहूंगी। और विमेन एम्पावरमेंट का विषय विमेन का नहीं है। विमेन एम्पावरमेंट का विषय समाज की मानसिकता का है, और उस समाज में स्त्री पुरुष दोनों आते हैं। और मैं तो ये कहूंगी कि आज हमारी बेटी एम्पावर्ड महसूस करती है, सेफ महसूस करती है, उसकी जिम्मेदारी हम सबकी है। इसलिए विमेन्स एम्पावरमेंट, इंटरनेशनल विमेन्स डे सेलिब्रेट करेंगे तो गर्ल्स और वुमेन और उनके सेलिब्रेशन का डे नहीं है, बल्कि ये डे है जब हम ये रिमाइंड कर सकें, हम ये याद रख सकें कि हाँ, इस एक दिन में हमें वो सारे क्वेश्चंस, वो सारे इंट्रोस्पेक्शंस, वो सारे रिफ्लेक्शंस करने हैं जो हमें फिर से तैयार करें कि अगर हम कहीं हार रहे हैं, हम कहीं धीमे हो रहे हैं, या हमारी कहीं चाल कमजोर पड़ रही है, या हमारी सोच कहीं थोड़ी मंदी हो रही है, कुंद हो रही है, तो उसको हम कैसे फिर से रिजुविनेट करके, कैसे फिर से उसे धार दें, कैसे फिर से उसे तेजी दें। तो इसलिए एक दिन में खत्म होने वाला एजेंडा नहीं है, लेकिन एक दिन में ये सारे बातें सोचने का दिन है। मैंने छत्तीसगढ़ जैसे राज्य में 15 साल तक काम किया है। आप सब जानते होंगे कि वो राज्य अपने पिछड़ेपन के लिए, नक्सलवाद के लिए और इन सब के लिए जाना जाता है। लेकिन उस राज्य में जब आप गांव में जाएंगे तो, और गांव में जाकर आप किसी ग्राम सभा में बैठेंगे, तो आप देखेंगे वहां पर सबसे ज्यादा संख्या महिलाओं की होती है। वहां पर पुरुष भी होंगे, युवा भी होंगे, लेकिन एक अगर विजुलाइज करेंगे तो सबसे आगे की पंक्ति में महिलाएं अपने बच्चों के साथ बैठी होंगी। और मैं हमेशा उस दृश्य से प्रेरणा लेती हूँ। आपको पता है वो सबसे आगे अपने बच्चों के साथ आकर क्यों बैठती है? क्योंकि वो एक सिंबल है। उनको लगता है कि शायद जब सबसे आगे बैठकर और सबसे अच्छा पार्टिसिपेशन कर डेवलपमेंट प्रोसेस में वो हिस्सा लेंगी, तो उनके लिए जो एंटाइटलमेंट्स हैं, उनके लिए जो समाज से, शासन से जो चीजें मिलने वाली हैं, उनकी नजर उन पर रहेगी। और जब वो उस पर नजर रहेगी तो डेफिनेटली उसका फायदा उन्हें मिलेगा। और मेरी कोशिश एक प्रशासनिक अधिकारी के तौर पर हमेशा ये रही है कि हम वो लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड तैयार कर सकें। हमारा रोल, हम सब का रोल अपने अपने हिसाब से कंट्रीब्यूट करने का है। हम सब फैसिलिटेटर्स हैं, इनेबलर्स हैं, और मैं कम से कम अपने आप को उसी रोल में देखती हूँ। कि अगर हम अपने किसी भी पद या व्यक्तिगत क्षमता में किसी को भी अपने जीवन में थोड़ा आगे बढ़ने के लिए फैसिलिटेट कर पाते हैं, इनेबल कर पाते हैं, एक ऐसा एनवायरनमेंट दे पाते हैं जहां हर लड़की, हर महिला अपना बेस्ट रियलाइज कर सके, तो हम सब लोग सफल हैं और हम अपने आप को अच्छा स्कोर दे सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर हम ऐसा नहीं कर पाएंगे तो हम सफल नहीं हो पाएंगे, और हम सफल नहीं हो पाएंगे तो जो बहुत सारी जो बेटियां हैं जो इंतजार में हैं कि उनको कब अवसर मिलेगा, उनके अवसर छूट जाएंगे। इसलिए कितनी कितनी सारी प्रतिभाएं, मैं हमेशा इसको इस तरह से देखती हूँ कि अगर मुझे मौका ना मिला होता तो मैं शायद आज आप सबके सामने बात नहीं कर रही होती, और अगर मुझे मौका मिला है तो मेरी जिंदगी का मकसद यह है कि मैं वो मौका बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए तैयार कर सकूं। और मुझे बहुत खुशी और गर्व है कि ये सिविल सेवा के माध्यम से मुझे वो अवसर बहुत मिलता है। इसलिए मैं आप सब लोगों को ये भी कहना चाहूंगी, आप में से ऐसे लोग जो सोचते हैं कि एक बड़े पर्दे पे काम करना है, लाखों लोगों की जिंदगी इंपैक्ट करनी है, बहुत डीप लेवल पर आपको अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन देना है, तो शायद ये मौका इस सेवा के माध्यम से बहुत अच्छा मिलता है। मैंने ये सोचा था कि मैं थियोरेटिकल कॉन्सेप्चुअल बात पहले करूंगी, और उसके बाद जो आप मुझसे जानना चाहते हैं मेरी यात्रा के बारे में या फिर मेरे एक्सपीरियंसेस के बारे में, और आई एम श्योर आपके बहुत सारे प्रश्न होंगे, उन सब का उत्तर मैं देते समय वो सारे इंसिडेंट्स आपके साथ शेयर करूंगी। एक एक जिंदगी का एक एक अनुभव का, एक एक सीख का कैसे असर पड़ा और कैसे उन्होंने एक एम्पावर्ड सोल तैयार करी। मैं आप सब लोगों को आई थिंक आई वुड स्टॉप हियर। आई हैव एग्जैक्टली स्पोकन फॉर 10-15 minutes and I would love to answer your questions. Is that okay, Madhuri ji?
Yeah, perfectly. I think Jyoti, will you read out the questions for ma'am?
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much for that wonderful address, ma'am. I'll take up the questions. We have a number of questions here, ma'am, waiting for you to answer.
I can see this. So how much time we have? Accordingly, we can plan. I think we had scheduled for up to 6. So you keep shooting questions.
We have loads of time. Your time is very precious, actually.
Okay. Right.
So,
Right.
So
right.
So, Ma'am, Manya Suri is asking, what are the most effective ways to counteract the negative stereotypes of feminism, especially in the workplace?
About feminism? Question.
I think Nania is confused.
No, I think let me open the chat box.
Ma'am, this is negative stereotypes of feminism at the workplace. She's referring to the stereotypes. Yes.
Okay, so the word feminism is actually used in many contexts and has many implications. But I think what I would interpret from her question is that at a workplace, when you talk more about women rights, women safe spaces for women and all, then there is this feeling that okay, ये तो women करती रहती है, right? So if this is the connotation, then my answer would be that there would always be something. If you don't speak, then you would be meek. If you speak with power, then you would be you would be considered very aggressive. You would be considered very so there would be something about some or other labeling or branding or naming or shaming. Just don't bother about it. Believe in yourself. Believe in your actions. Be sure that what you think is right. Be sure that what you are doing is right. Right in the sense that it serves the cause of, I mean, through your action, you are not, creating a breach in public interest, or you are not creating a rift. As long as you are sure of yourself, let it be. But yes, secondly, through positive actions, we can always make a difference in our environment. So people, and I'm sure that those kind of people always give you an opportunity. I mean, this I always try. The people who don't support, people who are very critical, always be nice to them. Always be very kind to them. There cannot be any befitting reply than this.
Ma'am, I believe that you have also answered a part of the next question, which talked about that how would people talking about the way people are reacting on the name of feminism and about the negative attitude in feminism. I think you've already answered that question. So I'll go to the next question. Ashar Ahmed is asking, how would you address the cultural issues that form the background of the gender pay gap?
Gender pay gap?
Yes, ma'am, in wages. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, कल्चरल इश्यूज का आंसर कल्चरल टूल्स के थ्रू ही बहुत अच्छा दिया जाता है, और उसका मैं सबसे अच्छा एग्जांपल आपको राजस्थान से दूंगी, जहां पर कन्वेंशनली या कल्चरली गर्ल्स को बहुत ज्यादा बाहर नहीं जाने दिया जाता था, या बहुत एक्सपोजर नहीं होता था. ट्रेडिशनली गर्ल्स वर केप्ट, आई मीन देयर डोमेन वाज स्कूल, घर एंड ऑल दैट. बट अगर अब आप देखेंगे तो अब बहुत सारी जगह पर ऐसे देखें, पर्टिकुलरली मुझे बीइंग फ्रॉम दैट प्लेस, आई नो दैट नाउ मेनी women with girls, I mean many mothers with their daughters come, that how can their daughter, or some even with their daughter-in-law, can I guide them, or what can they do to become something like this. And why this change has happened? Because not because of force, not because of only legislations and policies, but because of when they saw the change happening around them, when they saw somebody rising, and somebody making that difference, somebody crossing that level and seeing what kind of quality change has happened in their lives. And recently I was reading, and I was very pleasantly surprised after reading that article where a mother-in-law was accompanying her daughter-in-law while she was on duty, and she was taking care of the child, and the daughter-in-law was doing the service. And I think I would say by propagating and by making such people a hero, I mean, I felt like giving a salute to that mother-in-law, so that others can also get it. So I would say that the answer lies in those things only, how gradually through our advocacy, through our outreach, through our actions, we lead that change in the mentality, we lead that change in the thought process. Because ultimately this whole game about gender, women, girls, education, employment is about thought process. So you know that many people say like हम अपनी लड़कियों को काम नहीं करवाते, हमारी बहुएं काम नहीं करती, because वो काम करने का जो नोशन है ना, वो बहुत ही मायोपिक और नैरो कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखा जाता है. जब वो काम करने को एम्पावरमेंट की अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर ग्रोथ देखा जाता है, तो ये माइंडसेट आड़े नहीं आता है. तो आई थिंक हमको माइंडसेट पे काम करना होगा.
Absolutely, ma'am. Yes, you're right. Nikita wants to ask, ma'am, what is the main factor that women have less participation in the world politics than men, and why do we need more women in leadership?
Yeah, this is a question which I think every time a woman speaker would get from the young audience. Why do we need more women in leadership? I have two threads of this answer. We should have more women in leadership positions, as we have more men in leadership positions, because both are equal, so they should be equally there, right? So this is first. And second, we should have them more to demonstrate that this equality is not notional. This equality is real. This equality is achievable. This equality or this kind of leadership is doable by both equally. So this is my second dimension to the question. And third, I would say that we need this more because seeing is believing.
Right.
And there is a study where a female sarpanch and a male sarpanch both were given the same kind of thing, and then audience were asked to, based on their voice recording, audience were asked to give their feedback. Most of the audience, without seeing the work, without listening what she was to say, women gave very less score to the women leader, because then their biases were playing a role. But when both of them got the opportunity to work, then most of the women fared well and better than their male counterparts. And why? Because it's like somebody coming from the grassroots understands the problems of grassroots. Similarly, somebody rising up to a leadership position from this gender would have a very different perspective and would add that perspective to the system. So I won't say that अगर पवन शर्मा जी प्रिंसिपल नहीं होते और माधुरी जी प्रिंसिपल होती तो शायद वो बहुत अच्छा करती. No, I don't mean to say that. But I mean to say that when some woman is leading an organization or some woman is leading, is on some leadership position, she is an example. वो एक व्यक्ति नहीं होती है, वो एक मिसाल होती है. और वो जो मिसाल होती है वो कितनी सारे लड़कियों के जीवन में उजाला लाती है. तो आप लोगों ने जैसे अगर दंगल देखी होगी तो उसके पिताजी ने उसे एक बहुत अच्छा डायलॉग कहा था जो मुझे बहुत अच्छे से याद है कि बेटा अगर आप ये गेम जीतोगे, अगर आप ये मेडल जीतते हो तो एक लड़की नहीं जीतेगी, मतलब आप एक मिसाल बनोगे, और मिसाल बनोगे जिसको देखकर बहुत सारे पिताजी अपनी लड़कियों को दंगल खेलने भेजेंगे. तो I hope I have answered your question.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am. Ashutosh Yadav is asking, ma'am, what does International Women's Day mean to you? Why we celebrate just 8th March as Women's Day? Everyone becomes feminist for a day, and what about the other days?
So part of this question I've already answered, that this one day is not the only event. This one day is celebrated to remind us, to refresh us, to allow us to do that introspection. Like, just imagine if this one day wasn't there, we wouldn't have done this webinar to, poke our, and invoke this kind of, thinking in the environment around us. That, so this day is for introspection, this day is for reflection, this day is for, reminding oneself that have I done enough? Have I achieved enough? Have I made enough efforts to, create that kind of environment for, more women or girls like me? So for me, this day means a lot. For me, this day means it's kind of reminder. It's kind of putting a refresh button on, asking questions to oneself, and please don't take it as if like, because I am in a leadership position, I am in public service and I am an IS officer, that's why I am doing this. No, even if I am a student in college, even if I am an illiterate woman in the village, even if I am a, I'm anything, even if I'm a wage laborer, I need to, have this day. I need to, be reminded that, don't accept these limits and don't accept that this is your fate. You can still work on it. You can still do something about it. And don't think that because you are so and so, you cannot make a difference. A 13 years old girl in a village is fighting against domestic violence. An illiterate woman in the village working for stopping child marriages. An old lady in a village working so that girls are born alive. They are not killed. So what are these examples? So yes, and this, when we add any ism in any concept, it takes a very different narrative. So when you talk about women empowerment and when you talk about feminism, I won't say they are the same process. They are the same thing. Rather, it is a process which we need to go through to, हम अपने लैपटॉप में कंप्यूटर में रिफ्रेश बटन क्यों दबाते हैं? ये वो रिफ्रेश बटन है हम सब के लिए.
Indeed, ma'am, it is a day to introspect and re-strategize and rethink. Ankit Aman is asking, women are often referred to as Devi. What's your take on this?
रेफरेंस के लिए ठीक है. रेफरेंस के लिए ठीक है और हालचाल तो आप सबको पता है. लेकिन आपके पास ये मौका है कि आप अपने आसपास की गर्ल्स और वुमेन को देवी जैसा सम्मान दे सकते हैं.
Right.
So there was a question on like how was my journey in college. Can I take that question, because now I think we'll have to
yes, please. I think there's an endless stream of questions, so you take up whichever you like, and then whenever you have this issue of time also, I know. So whenever you say, we can wind up. Yeah.
Last 3 questions. So one question I want to take, that is about my college life. So my college was the first battle which I overcame successfully. So the place I was born, there were no girls' colleges around. So there was a boys' college, and that college had almost, more than 1,000 boys. And I happened to be one of the few girls who joined that college. And it was like I got because I was a student with the state board merit list. So every college was willing to give me admission across the state. But because this was near to my home and I didn't want to leave, I joined that college. And that was the first decision, I think, which ensured that I was getting empowered, because that decision was mine. And you can imagine, in a rural setting with so many boys around, and you are holding a fort, so that, and you're not dropping out, because if you drop out, then how about other girls? No parent would dare. My parents were like they were very clear about one thing, that I need to be educated and I need to have my share of opportunities. And it was like everyday empowerment. Every day. But you know what? we few girls changed the whole thing in that college, because girls first time in college, the whole college had got so disciplined, right? So because we would be sitting in every class, so teachers would turn up in every class. Since we would sit in class, of course the boys would also sit in the class, so suddenly the class attendance improved. So we would participate in every event, so there would be huge audience. So it was like, all kinds of experiences. And I think whatever I could do as a civil servant, my college days had a great share in it, and a great role in it, because that made me so tough and strong and resilient that I thought like I can do anything, I can face anything. You give it anything, right? So like your gut becomes so strong that it can take any kind of situation and pressure. And other than that, studying there required a lot of physical strength also, because we used to walk a lot. We used to the hours were longer. It was not that comfortable. I think that also added lot of strength. And the best part is the climax. And the climax is that we not only studied, we advocated that more girls should have these opportunities. Why should we four or five? And by the end, we completed our graduation. We could convince the people in the government or around us or community. And in third year of college, we inaugurated a girls' college at that place. And today, the place where only few girls were graduate, now there is a girls' college with many girls in that college. So it's, I think, one of the most satisfying experiences I had, particularly when I had no opportunity of being a civil servant, just being a student.
Exactly, which is why I wanted to add, ma'am, that before getting into administrative service, you started the process of change, social change, so to say, just by the capacity of being a student. That's really wonderful, commendable, ma'am.
So I also
That's why
understand. Right.
that's why I always say that empowerment is a process and is very internal.
Indeed.
External
So
factors can facilitate, accelerate, or diminish, but it is more internal. It's in mind.
It is in mind. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Madhuri, ma'am, you wanted to.
I just wanted to say it means that you actually, from what I understand, actually turned a boys' college into a co-ed college, and then also pushed the community to open a girls' college as well parallelly. Right.
Yes,
That's dual
yes.
achievement actually.
Yeah.
Great. That's
I'll ask,
really commendable.
I'll go ahead with the penultimate question. Swati Chaturvedi is asking, being in an administrative branch, ma'am, have you ever felt discriminated on the basis of gender?
So, Swati, I had switched off that lens when I entered into that boys' college. I always have seen myself as an individual and not as, somebody who belongs to this, that thing. So when you switch off that lens, then you don't perceive things around them with that lens. So if it is a discrimination, then it would be a discrimination on any basis, and it is like which receptor you keep on. So I have never kept any weak receptor on. So I have a very, very clear reputation that way. But I think I was privileged or lucky that I had both the processes. The inside was clear and the outside was, not that discriminatory. But I don't deny that many people would be feeling so. What I am responsible for is that how do I feel? How do I make others around me feel? And I have ensured that neither I feel discriminated nor I discriminate. And rest of the things, I can only take care of what I can, So I always think that like that story of Shri Ramchandra's Samandar Sukhane Wali, I see myself like that small squirrel, right? जिसको इस चीज से फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है कि अल्टीमेटली समंदर सूखेगा कि नहीं सूखेगा, पर उसको इस चीज से फर्क पड़ रहा है कि उसका जो एक्शन है एक बार जाके आना, उसमें वो जो अपना बेस्ट एफर्ट और बेस्ट कंट्रीब्यूशन कर सकते हैं वो कर रही है कि नहीं कर रही. एंड आई फील लाइक वो बेस्ट कंट्रीब्यूशन करने की जहां तक बात है, मुझे कोई दो राय या कोई संदेह या किसी तरह का कोई I mean, I feel full. I feel satisfied.
Right, ma'am.
I feel rich.
So with this, we come to the last question for the day, ma'am. So many of the students have asked, 3-4 of them have asked a similar question. What is your advice today for these 21st century boys and girls to achieve equality?
Yes. So I think that's the best question to have as the last question.
Absolutely.
So for boys first, my request to you is that remove this lens. He or she, treat them as individuals, equal individuals, and you will never regret. And you are the ones who are going to make the girls around you, the women around you, feel how they want to feel. You can feel them valued, you can make them feel valued, respected. You can give them the spaces which they need, or you can make them feel discriminated, underconfident, and lesser mortals. Choice is yours. Action is yours. Choose today which category you want to join. Those who are facilitators, enablers in the empowering process, or those who are hurdles, impediments in the empowering process. Choose today and live up to, your best. Now for girls. Don't always wait for some certification and acknowledgement from others about your capabilities, about your strengths. Look for them inside. And if you find that you lack something, work on it, achieve it. Don't crib about it. There is nothing in this world which can come to you until you work for it. So choose this day to make a promise to yourself that you will not be the one who would keep cribbing about what is happening around, who is thinking what, who is doing what, but choose what you can do about it. Choose what you can, do for yourself and for others, because that is the only thing which is in your hands. And third thing, never be a perpetrator. Never be a party. Never be with anyone who discriminates. Don't be at that side. Because if today you take that side, tomorrow you will be on that side. So this is my message for girls. And I think with this, a message for all of us, that this is not the end. This one day is not, this one day will not change, and this 1 hour will not change us. Whatever we have discussed in last 1 hour is not going to, do the jadoo ki chadi. That everything has changed. It will not do that. I'm very clear, and I think all of us are very clear. But what it will do? Literally, these questions, these reflections, these thought-provoking, questions would stay with us. And when someday we would be in a situation, it will suddenly pop up. Oh, yes. It's not like everything is written, saved, and, gone into the hard disk or the Google Drive. No. It is assimilated, it is absorbed, it is imbibed. And when we are in that situation, when we need to take a call, then it will come and guide you. So I think I mean, for me, these kind of events, webinars, discussions, brainstormings have that role, and it has really helped me, and it's really, has stayed with me whenever I have gone through these kind of experiences.
There couldn't have been more fitting end to this session, ma'am. So you indeed have given a food for thought to our students and to each one of us here. Thank you so much for your time, ma'am, and for your precious words. Uh, I would like you to take it forward from here, Himanshi.
Can I speak for a moment?
Sure, ma'am.
Rituji must be in a hurry, so maybe Brati ma'am can speak first and then we can play the film. Can we do it that way?
Sure, ma'am. Himanshi, you can invite Brati ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this informative, enriching, and engaging session. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Prati Biswas to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ritu Sain ji, for coming and speaking from the heart. Your experience as an administrator par excellence, the mingling of theory and praxis. There are so many takeaways from your lecture. You began very aptly that every day should be Women's Day. But sometimes these tokens also are very important. You should take them as milestones to remember, to maybe recoup what needs to be done. So we can take them as not tokenism, but we can take them as milestones, take them as, that we have reached here and what more to be done. There's loads and loads to be done, but yours is a truly inspiring story. I remember when you said that, you went to a co-ed college. I remember when I joined dancing evening college, it was just a boys' college. And after 2 years, and every year we would want, all the boys wanted co-ed kar dijiye. And we also thought co-ed, I'm just sharing this anecdote because, your anecdote said all the girls came to class and the boys followed. I have another narrative where always girls, breaking the stereotype, girls are not always good. Sometimes badmashi wo bhi karti hai. And when we became a co-ed college, there were the girls who were, sitting in the canteen and boys attending the classes. So that also happens. And I would say that also we should enjoy and encourage. So it is not always, sometimes you learn a lot in the canteen and not always in the classroom. So sometimes we need to break all kinds of stereotypes. And yes, I agree absolutely that Lakshman रेखाएं तोड़नी पड़ेंगी. लेकिन आपके यहाँ से हमने जो सीखा कि बूंद बूंद से घड़ा भरता है. हर एक कोशिश इम्पोर्टेंट है, हर एक कोशिश और कोशिश करते रहना है, और तभी जाकर कहीं ना कहीं हम एक दाग काट पाएंगे. हम ये जो लिंग भेद है, लिंग भेद की जो कहानी है, उसका एक नया चैप्टर लिख पाएंगे. Thank you from NSS team, thank you from Dancing Evening College, and personally thank you. It was really, it was a pleasure listening to you. Thank you, ma'am, for coming and sharing your precious time with our students and us.
Thank you so much, Rituji. We would love you to stay on as the children will share a video. They interviewed some of the faculty members and the staff in the administrative office and the library. But if there is paucity of time or you have some other work pressure, then we'll kind of let you go and maybe catch hold of you another day to interact further. I myself would really want to have more discussion with you, and maybe I think the students are also keen to interact with you more. Would like to learn from you about your work in the two districts that you have done. Would like to learn about that too, and I think NSS students would also love to learn about it.
So I would share two books. I would send it across for your library.
Thank you so
I
much.
would share a few videos which are about the work. And I invite all the students who are in NSS to work with me in my office one day and understand how the government works. So this is my offer to you.
That would be wonderful.
And-
then I'll connect with you and fix up some time
And-
and bring them along.
And in ministry, I run. I'm the officer in charge for an initiative that is called Vidyanjali. So your volunteers can register with us and work for anything which they feel which will improve education.
Wonderful. That would be just excellent.
This is lovely. I
Very
remember
nice.
we had in Jason Mary, you know, the Jason Mary education program where we taught slum children, you know, and that was part of the NSS of Jason Mary College.
Especially now that we are operating in physical mode, this would be possible
Can do that.
also.
And also, like in summer vacations, if the children wants to, if the student or the volunteers want to, adopt or serve or give their time or any kind of, contribution to the school environment, they can give officially, and we'll acknowledge that on our portal.
Great, great. I'm sure many students would be keen to do that. So yes, we'll organize something and yes, get connect and try and organize something to that effect. Right. Thank you.
So please, I beg your, I take your leave because I had another meeting at 6:30 and I'll have to prepare for it.
I think. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving so
Thank
much.
you so much.
You have my mobile number, so you can send that video across on WhatsApp.
Perfectly fine.
Lovely.
Right.
Thank you so much.
I love being with you, and though it was mostly one way, but I hope someday it will be two ways.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Khushi, we can play the video for the rest of the participants.
Yes, ma'am. Sujal, please present the screen.
Now, we are going to present a video constituting interviews of our college teaching staff, non-teaching staff, and students concerning the issues of women empowerment.
I think Sujal is facing some technical issues. Please wait for a minute.
हम एनएसएस की तरफ से और हम एक वुमेंस डे के लिए वीडियो शूट करना और आपके सजेशंस जानने थे, तो हम आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे. तो मैम, हमारा क्वेश्चन इज योर नेम. हम एनएसएस की तरफ से और हम एक वुमेंस डे के लिए वीडियो शूट करना और आपके सजेशंस जानने थे, तो हम आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे. तो मैम, हमारा पहला क्वेश्चन है, व्हाट इज योर नेम? ओके मैम, आप इस कॉलेज में कौन से पोस्ट पे सर्व कर रहे हो?
मैं यहाँ लाइब्रेरी में सेमी प्रोफेशनल असिस्टेंट ज्वाइन किया.
माय नेम इज कविता, लाइब्रेरी असिस्टेंट.
गीता नाथ है, सिक्योरिटी गार्ड.
वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के हिसाब से हमारा पहला क्वेश्चन है कि आपके अकॉर्डिंग वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट क्या है?
मेरे अकॉर्डिंग वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट हर वुमेन को अपने फील्ड के अलावा भी बाहर निकलना चाहिए. मीन्स ये नहीं कि उसको उसको सिर्फ घर घर में ही सब करना है। तो घर से बाहर भी अगर मौका मिल रहा है निकलने का, उसको निकलने देना चाहिए, उसको बंदिशें नहीं डालनी चाहिए। मेन बात कि हर फैमिली को एक वो जो अनुपमा सीरियल आ रहा है ना, वो देखना चाहिए, चाहे वो लेडीज हैं या जेंट्स हैं। उसमें बताया गया है कि एक वुमेन कैसे माँ भी है, बेटी भी है, बहू भी है, और हर चीज को पूरी तरह से निभा रही है।
वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट लाइक मतलब लेडीज को एजुकेशन में प्रॉपर इक्वल मतलब राइट्स मिलने चाहिए, और जैसे वर्किंग है तो वहाँ भी इक्वलिटी होनी चाहिए, मतलब कोई पार्शियलिटी नहीं किसी भी चीज़ को लेके। तो इन सब चीज़ों से एम्पावरमेंट मतलब।
जी मैम, तो फिर मैम आपको ऐसा लगता है कि आज की सोसाइटी में ऐसे कौन से इश्यूज है जो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट के खिलाफ जा रहे हैं और उन्हें प्रेशराइज कर रहे हैं?
बेसिकली जो हम लोगों की सोच है वही हम एक वुमेन को रोकती है। जैसे सास ससुर बोल देती है। आजकल तो फिर भी बहुत सही हो गया, फैमिली बिल्कुल ठीक हो गई है कि हाँ, जो पहले ज़माने की दादी सास या वो होती थी, उन्हें ये नहीं करना या वो नहीं करना। अगर मान लो किसी लेडी का डाइवोर्स हो चुका है या उसको किसी और अपना कुलीग ही या फ्रेंड बनाने की कोशिश करती है या उसमें वो फ्रेंड ढूंढती है, तो उसको क्यों बंदिशें लगाई जाती हैं कि नहीं तुम माँ हो, नहीं तुम बेटी हो।
हरासमेंट वर्क प्लेस पे भी होता है जैसे कई जगह, और डॉरी हरासमेंट भी हो गया, और एजुकेशन को लेके कई जगह अभी भी प्रॉपर मतलब लोग जो अवेयर नहीं है, गर्ल्स को अभी भी उतना एजुकेशन राइट्स नहीं मिलते जितने होने चाहिए। तो उस वजह से गर्ल्स कहीं ना कहीं अभी भी कुछ एरियाज़ में बैकवर्ड रह जाते हैं इन चीज़ों को लेकर, उन्हें प्रॉपर एजुकेशन नहीं मिल पाती। तो ये सब चीज़ें मतलब अप होनी चाहिए।
ओके मैम, तो फिर मैम आपको क्या लगता है कि ऐसे कौन से स्टेप्स हम ले सकते हैं जिससे ये इश्यूज हट जाएं?
हमें वुमेन को पूरी छूट देनी चाहिए कि वो भी जिंदगी जीने का हक उसको भी है, चाहे वो माँ है, बेटी है, हर फॉर्म में उसकी भी अपनी लाइफ है। वो सबसे पहले एक लड़की है, तो इसलिए उसको अपनी जिंदगी जीने का पहले हक होना चाहिए, बाद में और जो भी डिसीजन हो उसका अपना होना चाहिए। किसी के थोपे हुए डिसीजन से उसको वर्क नहीं करना।
मेरे हिसाब से हमें खुद भी अवेयर होना चाहिए, तभी हम दूसरों को अवेयर कर पाएंगे। और जहाँ हमें लगता है लोग अवेयर नहीं है तो हमें जाके, जैसे कुछ ग्रुप्स बनते हैं जैसे, तो अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करनी चाहिए कि लोगों को बताना चाहिए कि एजुकेशन के क्या रोल हैं। अगर गर्ल्स एजुकेटेड होंगी तो वो दो घरों को एजुकेट करेंगी, और तो इसलिए गर्ल्स का एजुकेटेड होना बहुत जरूरी है,
तो
क्योंकि
बहुत ही अच्छी सोच है।
दो तरफ का मतलब हान होता है उनकी एजुकेशन से।
इसमें आपने कभी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन या ऐसा कुछ फेस किया हो कि आपको कभी दबाया गया हो या फिर?
आज तक
मैम आपने अभी इतना लंबा सफ़र तय करके आप यहाँ तक आए हो, तो मैम आपने आज तक अभी ऐसी कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन फेस की है अपनी लाइफ में?
मैंने अभी तक कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन फेस नहीं की। एक्चुअली जब हम वर्किंग होते हैं तो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट कहीं ना कहीं हमारे घर से भी ये चीज़ें शुरू होती हैं कि जैसे अगर आफ्टर मैरिज इन लॉज का अगर पूरा फुल सपोर्ट है तो हमें वर्किंग होने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं होती, क्योंकि जब उनका सपोर्ट रहेगा तो हमें ऑफिस आने में 9 to 5 यहाँ टाइमिंग दे रहे हैं, फिर 6 या 7 बजे घर पहुँच रहे हैं, तो अगर वहाँ का माहौल अच्छा है तो हम खुश होकर जॉब करते हैं। अगर कहीं ना कहीं घर में हरासमेंट है तो ऑफिस में भी बंदा प्रेशर फील करेगा मतलब। तो मेरे साथ ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, मेरे को सब तरफ से सपोर्ट है, तो मैंने कभी ऐसा हरासमेंट टाइप कुछ फील किया नहीं।
आंटी, कॉलेज में और घर में इकट्ठा संभालने में, मैनेज करने में क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं?
घर में सारा करके आओ, फिर यहाँ पे आओ, घर में अकेली हूँ, सारा काम खुद को ही करना पड़ता है।
और वैसे सोसाइटी में मतलब दोनों काम इकट्ठे करते हो तो क्या कोई कमेंट्स जज करते हैं या ऐसा कुछ?
करते हैं लोग, सिक्योरिटी में करती है लेडीज हो के ये वो, तो वही फर्क क्या पड़ेगा उससे, अपने लिए तो करना ही है ना।
What's your name? What's your good name?
I am Professor Abha Singh.
Okay. Your post in the college?
I am in the English department.
My name is Dr. Sapna Dudeja Taluja. I'm an assistant professor for English.
And ma'am, according to you, what is the meaning of women empowerment?
Well, women empowerment, empowerment, I would say, doesn't mean that we have to suppress any male, or we can get it only by shouting and putting out slogans and all. It's how you do the work. So women empowerment, actually, I feel femininity itself is such a pleasurable way of living. With femininity, you have to go onward towards the brighter
your struggles, like you managing your family and the teaching life at the same time?
I think because of the job insecurity in Delhi University, the ad hoc teachers have been working in the university for the last 1 decade, more than 1 decade. There have been no interviews. That leads to a lot of stress. Of course, one has to manage the home, the child, the household chores, and the teaching. Prepare simultaneously for multiple semesters, check the papers. All of that is something that one likes doing, one loves doing. But the stress of the job insecurity is something that pulls one down.
What are the challenges you may faced here, like while working as a woman, as a working woman?
I don't think there's any challenge. We all are equal. Never I had faced any such problem. And I feel, why should one? We are living in the 21st century. We do have a right. We know how to protect ourselves.
The struggles that one faces as far as this profession is concerned, and which I have also faced, was when my child was born, I had to go on a break, and it became very difficult for me to get back to work because it's already an overloaded bus. The job condition is not all that conducive, and to be taking a break in that kind of a scenario is not all that easy. So yes, that was a bit of a struggle.
One of the current issues which need to be looked after, according to you?
Current issues that
as a woman.
As a teacher, I would say we need to spend more time in college because our students, they need interaction with us, and for interaction we do not have a space. We don't have departmental rooms.
Specific to this particular profession, this particular job, of course, appointments must happen immediately. Secondly, I think ad hoc women professors should be given all the support that they require. If they're going on a maternity break, there should be provisions for that. In fact, there should be no temporary / ad hoc kind of appointments. There should be permanent appointments so that people can feel safe to carry forward their lives, to have children, and to have a fruitful engagement outside of the work life and have a kind of a work-life balance. If we are happy in our personal lives, we contribute much more to what we are doing. We love teaching, that's why we are here, right? We love being around children and being involved in the process of knowledge sharing, teaching, learning process. So that process, I think, will gain tremendously if we feel secure.
May I know what is your name?
Hello, my name is Deepika. I'm a student here.
Hi Pragun, how are you?
I'm great.
First of all, what do you think is women empowerment according to
Being equal in society and being self-sufficient is women empowerment. Women empowerment is basically standing up for oneself, for one's own rights. है ना? So if I would say कि women empowerment is just educating women and all of that, that won't help. Real women empowerment is giving space to women to develop themselves, to become independent, to actually stand for themselves, to be bold enough to express their views.
So what do you think are the issues that are still faced by women in society?
There are many issues such as safety and equality.
So
Last year I got my boycott. While traveling in bus now, things have been like usually boys don't care, they push each other, hai na?
Yeah.
So people also thought that I am a boy.
Oh.
So touching anywhere and then pushing each other. So I have faced it also. I believe that, see, while we look at a woman and we think that, okay, I should not touch this person, I should not push this person, like, I guess the same should go for the boys.
Have you faced like any issues while being raised up or being in a society?
I don't face such issues, but sometimes I feel that boys got more preference over me. Like in school, in athletics, boys given more preference than girls.
Okay, do you have any suggestions what we can do for this issues?
We can empower our women, obviously, and we can take stand for them, and they have to take stand for themselves too.
This video interview is not the end. There are many other people enthusiastic like this. We hope through this medium you could take in important fragments which will help in rebuilding the nation, keeping the gender parity in mind. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining and adorning our event with your presence.
Thank you so much, students. All of you did a wonderful job. बहुत अच्छा वीडियो बना and anchoring भी बहुत अच्छी करी. Very well organized program. Thank you, Jyoti and Vivek, for taking pains and pushing it through. Thanks a lot, everyone. And very soon we'll have another event next week, maybe, or maybe this Friday.
Sure, ma'am, we are all set.
Great. Thank you so much. And I'm sure the students have also enjoyed the interaction with Ms. Ritu.
Yes, ma'am.
And let us remember, we'll go meet her and then let's see which programs we can join in with her, right?